Hello, everybody. My topic this evening is, what is the value of teaching yourself a foreign language? This is a question that I've mulled over many times over the years and conversations with others and then thoughts of my own. It's obviously something that I have devoted my life to doing. I do believe, honestly, that ultimately, obviously, when you teach yourself a foreign language, you end up knowing the language, which is the goal to begin with, so that goes without saying. But beyond that, I think that teaching yourself, when you have enough experience, is ultimately something more effective and more efficient than learning a language in other fashions. So I could talk about that, question what the value of teaching yourself a foreign language is in those terms. But I'd like to go deeper than that. I think that there are other things that are perhaps more valuable than the simple target language itself that you're going for, and the finding the best means, most effective ways of getting at it. And that is that I truly believe more and more that the real mark of knowing a language, when you can enjoy it and revel in its literature and understand its thought process, is precisely that. When you can think in a foreign language, that's when you've really arrived. And when you can teach yourself to think in a foreign language, if you teach yourself to think in a foreign language, what have you done, really? You have created another operating system in your brain. You have kind of reprogrammed your mind. You've reprogrammed your thought process with an operating system that might be out there in the world already and be given to other people who are born with it as their native language. But if you teach it to yourself, you're taking control of the process. You're deciding sort of the channels on which you want to do your thinking, articulate your thoughts, and look at the world around you and make sense of it in the terms of that language's vocabulary and the way that it constructs its chains of thought. And in order to get there, in order to do that, you have to work in a disciplined, systematic fashion for a long time. And when you do something in a disciplined, systematic fashion for a long time, you become disciplined and systematic in ways that can carry over. So I think the process of teaching yourself a foreign language is, in that sense, sort of a chicken and egg situation. You have to be disciplined and sort of know how to cultivate yourself in order to succeed in the process. But succeeding in the process, doing it, is something that will give you those qualities that are things that you can then carry over to other walks of life. So I guess I really do believe that learning languages is a form of mental exercise, mental discipline, and mental exercise, and that these are good habits to have. That somehow the world likes to encourage us to try to find easy ways out and to not make efforts and to try to avoid things that require them. But in my experience, those are the things that are most valuable, the things that you work for and ultimately attain because you work at them in an intelligent fashion for a long period of time. So I really can't think of, I know that there are other ways that one can discipline the mind, discipline the self, but given that we think through words and think through languages, to take charge of your thought process and your mental functioning by training yourself, by reprogramming yourself in languages of your choice, has been in my life somehow more satisfying in terms of sort of thinking about okay, now when I look at the world, do I understand the world? Doing that in new fashions is sort of gives you answers that you can't necessarily get even from reading the greatest works of philosophy. So there's something I do think of value in and of itself. The process, since we think through words and think through languages, the process of controlling the language process in your mind by reprogramming yourself with languages, I think is a very valuable thing to have beyond the language itself, and also beyond the discipline and the sort of self-cultivation that you get out of it. So that's my answer that I sort of have to myself, and that I would like to now offer you, the other people, when I talk about it. What the value of teaching yourself a foreign language is not just the language, but the discipline that goes with it, and the mental training that I think is an important part of character building, and sort of really making sense of the world around us. So I hope that was interesting for you. Thank you always for listening, and I will try to talk to you again next week. Good night.